Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 107 for July 20th, 2025. I know we're a bit late with recording this. A lot of stuff has been happening, but now we're here as we try to get once per week back under control. I'm the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined today by two other people. Joined by Bench,
Hello, in Kong.
and I'm also
Bananza.
joined by I'm also joined by Moon.
Oh, banana.
Oh, banana. Never gets old. Every single time I collect one, I'm like, I say it with the guy.
Yep.
That's about Dog Kong Bananza, which we'll talk about later in the show. But we got a lot of news well, not a lot. Pretty short news week, actually. But just some fun tidbits here and there. And you can also follow us real quick before we even get into anything. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, find us on there. Leave us on a review on Apple Podcasts. That really helps us out. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. And I think we should just get right into it, boys. First and foremost, you're going to be hearing r/gaming leaks and rumors a lot because let's just say this has been a rumor week. Not a lot of like actual substantial news has been happening. It's been a lot of just, hearsay, someone saying this, Schreier saying this, Jez saying this. And first and foremost on that docket is about Fallout. Jez Corden doubles down that ZeniMax Online Studios' canceled project was to reallocate resources for Fallout projects. Context for this was that he said this earlier in the week about how they canceled the Blackbird, which was the MMO from ZeniMax Online Studios, to try to reallocate resources for Fallout. And then Schreier kind of came out and said, no, actually, that's not what happened. It wasn't canceled for Fallout. It was canceled for separate reasons. It was canceled for budgetary reasons. And then r/gaming leaks and rumors kind of put a little summary here. This was said in the Xbox 2 podcast yesterday. Specifically, just states that the financial investment that Microsoft was putting towards Blackbird is what is being redirected for Fallout 5. He states that when he last mentioned this, it was just a rumor he had heard, but that he did not have enough information to give a full report on it. However, since then, he has heard an all-hands internal meeting at Microsoft that took place last week, where it was said that Blackbird was canceled specifically to make strategic bets in other areas, and that the money saved from cutting the project would presumably go towards hiring hundreds of other people in the other invested projects. Just states that while Fallout 5 was not specifically mentioned in the meeting, the context of the meeting with what else he has heard makes him think that Fallout 5 is one of those other strategic bets. Jez also states that he verified his sources diligently and that he has heard specifically before that part of the budget consideration for the layoffs at ZeniMax was for Fallout-related projects. I'm not a big fan of these like rumor person versus other rumor person reporting because it's like, okay, do either of you really know the exact situation? But it seems like Jez is very much doubling down that like, yeah, they were reallocating the resources that were for Blackbird for whatever Fallout 5 is. This either state shows that Microsoft is way worse run than I thought, or that budget allocation, their budget allocation makes no sense, or Jez is full of shit. Because I don't really understand the idea of we don't have enough money for a Fallout 5, so we're going to take money away from Blackbird or like completely cancel this other project. What I heard Schreier state, which that sounds way more believable, is that they canceled Blackbird because trying to release an MMO in this environment is way more difficult because of budget resourcing, and it's like you don't know if it's going to do well. I mean, look at something.
That's what I was about to say. Like, maybe it's because I just don't pay attention to MMOs like at all. But is the MMO genre like healthy? Like, are the games doing? I'm obviously the ones that have been around forever will always have their fan base, but has anything new in the MMO space really taken off in the last couple of years?
They take off for 2 months, and then that's it.
I'd argue the last MMO that took off and has sustained itself to be very successful is probably ESO.
Would you count Fallout 76 or Destiny?
No.
That feels more. I mean, it is a success now compared to what it was, but I don't think it's gigantic. I could be completely wrong.
ESO is really big, but like even then, it launched in a really bad state and had to become really big. And I think Microsoft didn't want to stick with Blackbird in case it launched in a bad state. But also, why would you cancel it so late? Like, if this thing's been in production since 2018, I feel like you would have known by now, like, oh, maybe cancel it in like 2022 if you really were worried about how a new MMO would do.
Like, the three big MMOs were 14, ESO, and Warcraft. And Nothing's been able to break that mold for a while now, and I guess they thought maybe if
How's
it's the
that
same
Dune
company
Awakening
running
game
it,
doing? I guess we should look. Maybe they saw what happened
that's
with Dune Awakening. Is that doing okay?
That seems to be
that's doing
fine.
great, but
That's
that's a
way
survival
too.
game.
Yeah, and that just came out, and that was like, what, like a month they're gonna cancel. Like, oh no, Dune Awakening isn't doing that good. That's a little
I
too
mean,
like reactionary.
I definitely do think there is probably maybe not the full reason, but I think there is a nugget of truth to the whole. They just realize an MMO just is not what they see in their future plans because not only do you have to release the game, but you have to continually support it. So they would rather allocate what they have and like, okay, well, let's do something we know we can focus on, and that'd be Fallout 5 or whatever they want to do next. And so because it's probably most likely a single player game, and they're like, we know we can put this out and release it and make money, and it'll be hopefully a hit if it reviews well. Unlike an MMO where you hope it releases well, and then you got to continue it and keep that stride for who knows how many years. So I can see some validity to that, but yeah, it's this whole like he says she said thing, and you can't trust either side really.
And plus, they already have a successful MMO and a semi MMO with 76 that does well. So why do you need to throw in a third?
That
Yeah,
too.
just again, it's just like I feel like it was canceled way too late because they
Yeah,
were just
Yeah, I
in
agree.
it
production.
feels weird that it's like okay, at least put it out at that rate. If it is as
Exactly.
close to being done as we think it is.
Because it was supposedly 2028. So it's like 3 more years. I mean, like that was like full production. They were going to start for 3 more years. So that's actually a pretty good development cycle. It's weird. I don't really understand it, but I guess I'll ask you guys this thing about Fallout 5. Isn't it a little weird that it gets greenlit now? Because I feel like I would have greenlit as soon as I bought Bethesda.
I mean, I
There's also
guess
who's making it.
yeah, I think probably we're seeing now the not the Fallout, but like the follow up on Fallout is like big now. Like the TV show put it to another level that they haven't seen in quite some time. Like Fallout 4 came out, it was good and people liked it for the most part, and then it just kind of like okay, yeah, hey, we're back moving up. But now Fallout's like in the zeitgeist of video game sphere again. So now they're like they want to jump on that. Like okay, we got to get Fallout 5 out, and we're probably going to be getting some remasters here in no time too.
And also, you'd think like Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield were announced at the same time, and that could kind of line up with now Fallout 5 being around. That this is when they're getting in that brainstorm phase of a couple people starting to put stuff together. Was probably what Elder Scrolls was doing around that same time for Starfield, although they were announced at the same time. So it kind of makes sense.
I get what you're saying about the TV show Moon, like definitely putting it into an even more mainstream level, but like Fallout was already pretty massive. I mean, each game consistently sold about 10 million copies. Fallout
Oh yeah.
4 is like even more than that. I guess it's like I feel like as soon as I bought Bethesda, we would have looked at all the teams and said, okay, which one of you can make a Fallout game? I tried, or at least like look outside and see who can do one because I feel like that's such a big IP to get.
Trying to remember, was 76 part of before or after that? The
Before
buyer.
oh no, 76 was way before. That was
They
Okay.
20.
made it because they needed money.
Yeah. I mean, Redfall was originally made as a live service because they wanted some type of live service to pop off at Bethesda. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think Fallout 5, I'm curious who's developing it because I don't know if you guys caught this. Chris Avallone, who used to work at Obsidian, was kind of saying like, I know what Obsidian's working on. None of the projects are a Fallout game. They are not working on a new Fallout. Though granted, this was supposedly just greenlit, so would he have known that quickly that now Obsidian is making Fallout 5? I don't really
I don't.
understand it personally. I feel like Obsidian is working on something Fallout. I know Chris Avallone, he worked at Obsidian for a long time, but like I don't know if he's that privy to what's being
Yeah, because if
done.
he's not currently there, then how would he know? Unless he's got some old friend there that's still working and they're just chatting up on Discord.
Yeah, I mean that's
No,
probably what it is, but even then, it's like I don't know if they're that up to date.
no, I think that if a Fallout game, a numbered Fallout game is being made like Fallout 5, it'll be a Todd-headed project
Oh yeah, I mean
until
if
he
it's Fallout 5
retires.
specifically, but even then, it's like you got to release Elder Scrolls 6, which we think is like 27, 28. So Fallout 5 is what, like 2032? I'm gonna be dead, bro. Like what the fuck? I,
I
I
think with
I have to imagine
Microsoft,
you do some type of Fallout game before that.
yeah, I mean we'll get the 3 remake before that for sure.
Maybe
Oh
that's
yeah.
But
what
I
Obsidian's doing.
but I do think that it could come out in quicker succession with Elder Scrolls 6 if they decided like we're gonna make these two bets and scale up accordingly.
Depends on how they scale, because Bethesda Game Studios always stays as like a pretty small team, about 100 employees. I wonder if they try to like, okay, we're doubling your team size, so now you can try to work on the big games you made before, but like now you can fast track them. But like, I feel like just putting more bodies on a project doesn't necessarily fast track the process of making a game, especially at a AAA level.
Especially when you're gonna want to make it bigger and better. And these Fallout games, even originally, were pretty big and for their time.
Yep.
So it's like if you're trying to go even bigger, yeah, throwing more bodies at the problem isn't gonna do much.
Yeah, it's weird. I hope I can play a Fallout game before I die, which is a very funny statement, but also semi-true. Moving on to our next rumor. Might as well just call this the rumor part of the show now. This one I have a lot more faith in. Rumored Nintendo Direct happening this month. It's from Brian at Nintendo Everything. The claim comes from Nate the Hate, who has shared what he knows on a podcast episode. He heard that there's a Nintendo Direct happening in July, though it won't air until Bananza is released, which, it's already released. That would obviously rule out this week, and after that, you could start running into a few realistic possibilities, essentially rule out Mondays and Fridays. And this is just speculation from Nintendo Everything. But basically, Nate's kind of adamant, like, hey, Nintendo Direct is happening for the month of July. The question is, so we have 2 months left in July, or 2 weeks left in July. 2 months, geez. 2 weeks left in July to have a Nintendo Direct. They usually try to happen around Tuesday, Thursday. So one of these 2 weeks, I want, first of all, I do fully believe it. Nate's pretty much bulletproof. He hasn't been wrong on anything substantial. To ask the question of when, I kind of feel like they might do end of the month, because technically, I don't know if you guys remember, Mario Party's Switch 2 version is coming out this week. So I think they're a little weird. They're like, we'll wait until that's come out. So
Not
probably
only that, but we have
last
the
week.
Pokemon Presents due this week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when's that? I
It's
think that's
Tuesday, which
Wednesday,
I
right?
completely forgot about until I saw like a reminder on my Twitter feed saying, "Oh yeah, only 3 more days until the Pokemon Presents." I'm like, "There's a Pokemon Presents."
Dude,
They did that
Tuesday,
Pikachu DJ thing.
8
Which was gross.
a.m.
Oh
Oh,
god.
today. Oh god.
Well,
Okay.
it's
Which
it's 8 for us,
so
right?
along with Mario Party and Pokemon Presents, that does seem like not a great time to do it. So if it's not next week, then it's got to be next week if it is this month.
Plus,
Yeah.
it lines up with like Switch Online stuff that first week of the month. That next week, it would make sense.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, if I had to predict, probably like the 29th or maybe the 31st if they want to just right at the end of the month. And also, I think our direct this time makes sense because we still have a number of games: Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4, the Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. You still have a good amount of games that don't even have release dates that are still set for this year, and I think they're like, okay, we can do a direct now. I know some people were like, oh, wait till September, but it's like they're probably gonna have a
Well,
game released in September, and I think they want to give some marketing to it.
on top of that, there's so many partners that need to talk.
Yeah,
So
I wanted to
many.
bring this up. This is from Sicker at My Nintendo News. Nate the Hate claims some third-party devs are choosing not to announce their Switch 2 games yet. A lot of games have already been announced over the summer without mention of a Switch 2 version. Video game leaker Nate the Hate has stated in a new video that he has heard some big third-party developers has explicitly chosen not to announce their games just yet. There could be many reasons behind this. There was the rumor that a number of third-party developers hadn't received development kits. They are saving their announcements for a Nintendo Direct for an added boost, or they are waiting to see how well the console sells before committing. And Nate, this is a direct quote from him. Capcom, Sega, Ubisoft, Namco, and others are waiting. They have games they want to announce. Switch 2 has a lot of support coming. And this kind of screams kind of a weird thing Nintendo is about. Apparently, I watched the podcast. There's a lot of like Switch 2 develop people who want to put games on their Switch 2 who even just want to like release like a port Switch 2 version. And Nintendo has not released development kits to them. I don't know why, because the console is out. You can release them, but for some reason, Nintendo's being very cagey. I genuinely don't understand it. But it seems like also with the other ones like Capcom and Sega, the ones that Nintendo very much trusts substantially, they're just waiting for a direct to announce their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess it's like we're at the point now where we're kind of just waiting for Nintendo to start announcing things again, release dates and whatnot. Now that we've passed Bananza, and that is supposedly doing very well. I actually just saw a tweet that Christopher Drang reports that in the UK, Bananza's like sold 3 times more than Tropical Freeze on Switch, and also I think half of Mario Odyssey, which Mario Odyssey sold 30 million copies, so even half of that is very, very good. So I'm very curious to see kind of what the lasting impact of Bananza moving into a direct. I think that's kind of how Nintendo wants to market everything from this point on, including the presents later this week. Wait, before we move on, what do you guys think we're going to get at that presents other than just more Legends EA? Anything substantial?
That's the $1 million question, because it's like I think we've seen enough of ZA to. I don't think they want to put out much more without spoiling stuff. Granted, they could just spoil a bunch of stuff. Who knows? But it's just got to be. And I just saw, I think, like the Korean YouTube leaked out that it's going to be 24 minutes long, so it's a decent size presents. But I have no idea what they could possibly show. It's got to be either a new spin-off game of some kind or just a bunch of mobile shit.
As someone who does play TCG Pocket every day since release, I do want more packs. But I do hope
packs, please.
But I know we'll see Pokemon Champions Legends for sure. Wouldn't maybe some either spin-off project like a mystery dungeon or a remake. Because we did have the quick succession remakes from the last Legends game.
I think my thing is, I think they want to save Black and White remakes for next year, so they may as well not talk about them now. Next year's actually 25th anniversary of Pokemon, surprisingly. I think
Gen 10 tease?
Oh no, it's Gen 30th. No, because like again, you tease Gen 10 at the 30th anniversary, which is next year. I think they want to make it where it's like next year you're gonna get a lot of the big stuff that's kind of the big like new reveals, like a Gen 10 or a Black and White remake type situation. Here, I feel like you're mostly just gonna get updates and then some gameplay on Legends EA. I'm not.
I mean, what if
the Pikachu DJs got me excited for maybe like, oh, we're doing a Pokemon rhythm game or a Pokemon music app, but it doesn't really seem like that. It seems to just be like a waiting party thing they're doing. I don't get it.
Some speculation is that for the 30th anniversary, they plan to have multiple new games next year. And we know with the original Legends, we had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in November, and then Legends in January. There was like a 3-month gap.
Yeah, but that was due to delays and stuff. That was not their original plan, I bet.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just like copium, obviously, but maybe Black and White first half and Gen 10 in the holiday.
Oh god,
30th for the 30th anniversary. Go all out.
I would just skip the Black and White remake entirely if that happened. Just like I don't need to overload on Pokemon like that.
I don't know. I'm the fiend for Pokemon right now because it's been too long since the last game. I need some Pokemon in my life.
2 years.
No, it's
and you're gonna be fresh right off Legends ZA, and then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, now Black and White remake. Oh, now to Gen 10. That's gonna be like 3 games within a 12-month period.
2 years because DLC was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's not the same because I didn't like that game.
Pokemon fans be always complaining, oh man, we don't have enough games. No, we have too many games. Slow them down, them releases.
Oh no, I've always wanted them to just pump out the games.
You are the problem. Man, we gotta stop him. He's the problem.
And it's gonna get even worse when Beast of Reincarnation comes out and everyone just starts comparing this and Pokemon.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
It's just gonna be like, what is happening over at Game Freak?
I am so interested in that game. I don't know what it's gonna be. The fact that Game Freak is making a Souls-like is insane to me. Alright, well, let's move on to yet another rumor. Yep, this is the rumor episode, boys. Jason Schreier hints at Sony Santa Monica's next game not being a new IP. This is via Reset Era. After his earlier comment that he heard Cory Barlog's new game was progressing well, he now dropped a hint at it not being a new IP. Quote, why does everybody think Barlog's game is a new IP? And then an update. I'll put it this way. It's not a new IP, but it might feel like one. Maybe that's why people are confused. Please don't ask more questions about this. If I wind up reporting more information at any point in the future, it'll be in an article, not on a forum. I can also confirm that Ashong knows what they are talking about, and that sci-fi stuff that people have apparently believed for years now is nonsense. The fuck is
Wow.
this game?
This is where we get our Atreus game. We haven't talked about that in forever. This is the
I-
Atreus game.
It sounds like it's the Atreus game, and God, that's the last thing I want.
So we'd be getting the Atreus game and the 2D Metroidvania God of War game back to back. Great.
Listen, as a massive God of War fan, I'm kind of sick of this franchise. Let's put it on ice for now. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, I'll play the Metroidvania, and I'll probably play the Atreus game, but I'm like, in my ideal
You're gonna do it
scenario,
with a
it's like,
grumpy face, like,
yeah, my ideal scenario, I loved Ragnarok, Valhalla. I'm like, listen, put it on ice. See you in 2029 for the next big one. Because I need a bit of degrees of separation from the IP. Now, the Metroidvania, that's kind of what more I want. But the fact that it's Greece is also like, oh, dude, we just got back for like, I don't know how to go back to Greece. I don't. I don't know. It very much is most likely the Atreus game. There is a possibility that it's something else. I heard the idea of like, oh, maybe it's something within Sony's backlog of games. Like maybe it's an Uncharted game, but also that doesn't really make sense because Naughty Dog is probably doing that Uncharted game.
Because then they just say that it's so different that you wouldn't expect it to be. It basically is a new IP. So I'm kind of getting like the vibes of like how Shadow Labyrinth is technically a Pac-Man game, but yet it's so entirely different you can almost consider it its own thing. So maybe it's something like that where it's using that older IP technically, but it's so different that you can almost count it as a new IP.
Yeah, and I feel like those rumors about it being a sci-fi game, I feel like those might have been true, but like it got canceled again.
Because
he
he
had
made
a
some
sci-fi
cryptic
game before.
tweets.
Yeah, I don't know. Corey is really weird. I don't know his deal, but yeah, I want to believe it's something that's not just an Atreus game, but it's kind of looking more and more like that. But also, it's like, why would you put Corey Barlog on that? Like, I feel like he could do something more different than that.
Because this is how they turn God of War into a first-person shooter with Atreus.
And if it's a first-person shooter, now I'm down. Now you got me more interested. I don't know. I'm hoping it's good, which I think it will be because it's Corey Balrog. I trust him. But man, it's like it. If it's Atreus, I'm not interested. If it's a new IP, it's not even a new IP. So what? What we know is it's not sci-fi. It's not a new IP, but it might feel like one. These cryptic ass tweets. I would have rather not had all this, Jason, because now it's like all this like debate and speculation.
Yeah, but imagine at the Game Awards, Corey Balrog comes out on stage like it's time to reveal my new game, and instead of being in space, we're in a deep forest. It's like, what the hell? It's like we thought this was a sci-fi game.
I honestly, that would make me more excited if I'm being honest. Wait, what if it's Parappa the Rappa 2? He's just like, fuck it, we're going something completely different.
My new big AAA game is a rhythm Parappa the Rappa game.
Hey, listen, I'll be down. Moving on to our next story. I think it's our last story. Oh no, okay, second to last. Another rumor. God bless. Okami Games says this. From Software is reportedly deep into development on an unannounced project codenamed FMC. This is a separate project from the Dustbloods and will be multi-platform. The author Kurikasis speculates that it could be a remaster of Dark Souls 3. So I was reading more about this. This is kind of a weird thing. So FMC, normally the abbreviations that start with, I think it was FM or F, it's either Dark Souls or Armored Core. If it's Dark Souls, I'd be surprised if it's Dark Souls 4. I don't think that's a thing at all because Miyazaki has said that franchise specifically is on ice. So Dark Souls 3 Remastered is probably more likely. There's also the chance that it is Armored Core, but that'd be surprising because it's next year, and it's like I don't think you could get Armored Core 7 out that quickly. There's also the idea that it's an Armored Core 6 expansion, which I also think that's way more feasible than anything else I've heard
I'm down.
at this point. Dark Souls 3 Remastered would be really frustrating because it's like that game already looks and runs phenomenally. And doing that before Bloodborne is psychotic and kind of confirms to me without even a thought, it's like, oh yeah, that's 100% on Sony that Bloodborne isn't doing anything. Because then it's like, okay, if you have the time to do a Dark Souls 3 Remastered, you would have done Bloodborne before that. So I think that kind of would confirm that, like, yes, this is 1000% on Sony.
which I already believe it's fully on Sony. The weirdness.
Yeah, I
of
believe that for
everything.
quite some time.
I don't know what the deal with this is. I'm curious. FromSoft is a very fast studio. They have a lot of teams. They already released Night Rain this year. Next year is Dust Bloods, and then we're probably getting whatever this FMC game is. They're a very fast studio. I saw some people saying like maybe it's the next big game. I kind of doubt that because Erdtree was last year. I'm curious. I'll be there for whatever it is. I'm just very interested to see what kind of the extent of what this game is. There's a lot of different possibilities at the moment. There's not a lot to kind of go off of with a code name, really.
It's like, oh yes, big
Mhm.
company is working on another project. Big surprise.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the most interesting thing is that it's releasing the same year as Dust Bloods, where it's like 2 games in a year is pretty crazy development grind, especially in this environment. Oh, last story here is a quick one. Ubisoft has set Christophe Derenesis and Charlie Guillemot as the co-CEOs of the French video game company's new subsidiary, Assassin's Creed Far Cry Rainbow Six. If you remember, this was the case of they set up a new subsidiary that is being funded by Tencent, and that subsidiary basically is in charge of their 3 biggest franchises: AC, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. Um, I think the most interesting thing is it's the son of Yves Guillemot, Charlie Guillemot, and he basically said, "Guys, it's not nepotism." I found that the funniest thing is like I think it kind of is nepotism, but sure, all right. Oh, and also Christoph, the co-CEO, is the cousin, so it's basically like, damn, this really is just a family-run company to the core. Yeah, I just found that as a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move into reviews of the week. Big one, Donkey Kong Bananza, sitting at a 91 on OpenCritic, 10 out of 10 from IGN, 4 out of 5 from The Gamer, 9 out of 10 from GameSpot, 9 out of 10 from Nintendo Life. A lot of people pretty unanimously 9s and 10s across the boards. I think it saw a couple 8s, but for the most part, it's 9s and 10s. We saw that this was done by the Tokyo team, EPD8, and yeah, not surprising. We'll talk about it more extensively when we get to what we've been playing, but overall, everyone's very, very satisfied with Bananza, and I'm happy to see that. This was kind of the big Switch 2 exclusive people were waiting for, because Mario Kart was not what I think a lot of people really wanted it to be, so it's good to see it's like, okay, we got a fire-ass Donkey Kong game pretty quickly after the launch, at least. Other big review of the week is Shadow Labyrinth, sitting at a 75. 4.5 out of 5 from The Gamer, 4.5 out of Hardcore Gamer. Nintendo Life gave it a 7. Push Square a 6 out of 10. Moon, I think you had some interest in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was interested since the Summer Game Fest or Game Awards last year first teased it off, and I'm like, oh, this is neat. It's a Metroidvania, and it's working off the Pac-Man IP, and then we find out it's working in a lot of like classic Bandai Namco IP into it as like sections and bosses and whatnot. I did play the demo at Anime Expo 2 weeks ago, and it's pretty standard Metroidvania. So the highlight for me was I got to a certain section of the map, and it was based on Dig Dug, and I'm a big Dig Dug fan. And the enemies all worked in the same way where you actually had to pump them up to blow them up. That was the only way to fight them. They were invincible beyond that, so that was a neat reference. So I'm interested to possibly check it out at some point, but 75 is about where I predicted it would be. Actually, it's maybe even a little higher than I thought it would be, because it didn't feel great in terms of just like movement and all that, but the puzzles were neat. The combat was basic generic. The highlight of the game is its cute little quirks. Like when you defeat an enemy, Pac-Man, or Puck as his name is in this game, will run around and gobble up all the little things. So it's fun little neat things like that will keep the game alive. But in terms of being a Metroidvania, it doesn't really do anything. And it also helps it's a budget game. It's $30 and it's only going to get lower from here.
Oh, it's $30. Okay. Is the demo still up, or was that like a Next Fest thing?
That was at that was actually at the convention. Like they don't have an active demo up online.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do like my Metroidvanias. Something about the art style of this game really frustrates me.
Yeah, that is the other thing. I for some reason had like this different visual in my head, and then once I saw like that Bandai Namco presentation that we watched a couple weeks ago, and we saw gameplay from that, and then I actually played the game at Anime Expo, and I'm like, oh, this art style just isn't doing it for me.
Yeah, it looks like very like the rigging of the models just
I
It's
don't know. It just
stiff.
looks rough. Yeah.
It's stiff. It looked early design. Like it's like, okay, here's your beta design. Okay, now we're gonna add another level on top of that, and they never did. So,
All right.
yeah,
It sounds interesting at least. I didn't know you were a Dig Dug fan. That's actually funny.
it's neat. It's a neat game, and I'm sure it'll have its place among people because it doesn't seem like it's bad. It's just kind of like it's just there.
Yeah, it seems like it's just like if you're a fan of Metroidvania, it's like this one you can have fun with.
Here's your latest one out of the million on Steam.
Yeah, really. All right, let's get into what we've been playing. Before anything, I just want to give the final update on Death Stranding 2, at least for me. I finished it. I clocked in about 53 hours. I wrote a very lengthy review that I am going to try to publish in the coming week, hopefully. But my just quick headline thoughts is I like this game a lot. I really enjoyed a lot of the improvements in terms of gameplay. And I do think there's a lot of aspects of the story I really do enjoy. The finale is very strong, but I think I still overall prefer Death Stranding 1, which, you know, a lot of it is kind of unfair because of the surprise that Death Stranding 1 was for me. So it really helped me out a lot of playing that game. But overall, I kind of come out of this game like, yeah, there's a lot of things it does better, but there are aspects of Death Stranding 1 that just stick out in my mind more, and that's just the game I think about a lot more. But overall, I think this is a very worthy sequel, and I'm curious to see what they do next. Not necessarily with the IP, but specifically Kojima. I'm just interested in what Fizzant is. I don't know about OD. I don't really care that much about it at the moment, but Fizzant is like, oh, okay, well, I want to see what that is.
Yeah, and I've also been playing through Death Stranding 2 about 43 hours. I'm definitely doing more content than Wolf, and I know Fusion, who just wrapped it up. I'm pretty much 4 or 5 starring everything, building everything, taking my time, and I'm definitely currently at the point where gameplay is like some of the best gameplay ever, in my opinion. It's just the freedom to do and conquer deliveries how you want has been very satisfying. I do like the soundtrack a lot, even if Low Roar just stays undefeated. And the story is starting to drop little hints here and there, but even 40 hours in, like the story is good, but it's not great yet. And I'm hoping it gets to that point in the last push, even if I know I have another 20 plus hours in if I continue to play the way I'm playing it.
Yeah. It was quick though. I think I'm gonna be curious how people feel about this game by December when we start talking about not just Game Awards but like Game of the Year in general. Because I do think this is like one where like people were really high on it in the reviews. I feel because of how strong the finale is, and it's like I wonder if that is strong enough to like fast track over to the December Game Awards and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, like, I will say then like Kojima got what he wanted. It is a pretty like divisive game for a lot of people where someone's I like one more or no, I like two more and like debates I've been seeing a lot of the cases especially around the story. So there you go Kojima, you got what you wanted. uh who gives a shit about that, dude? Donkey Kong is here.
Oh, yeah.
I am sitting, we've all been playing, I've been sitting at around I want to say 11 hours last I checked. And the Switch still does that thing of 10 hours or more. Where it's like, what the fuck does that mean? But yeah, I think it's like around 11 or 12 hours for me.
Yeah, I'm about 14 hours in. Still, y'all are
Uh,
both past me at this point.
You mean how many hours you at?
Actually, thankfully, like DK, the game itself keeps track of it for you. So I'm just booting my loader real quick. Yeah, like when you look at your save file, when you're picking your save file, because I'm sharing one with my brother, it actually does tell you like your time on it. So I can actually pull that up real quick as soon as the Switch 2 is so slow. How is this so slow? You're a new console. But yeah, I think I am. Well, we talked about before. I think I am ahead of you somehow, but I guess it's because you guys are doing more side stuff than I am.
I am not leaving a level until I have every collectible.
Yeah, no, I've been like kind of playing a gentleman percent, which I basically say that it's like I do as much as I want to at that moment, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to leave, and then I start to head out.
I kind of just run
100%
around and spam the sonar, and I get whatever I can, and then that's about it.
That sonar is so funny. He just slaps the ground and sees everything near him.
Okay, I guess I was wrong. I thought it did, but it just shows your time, like what time you last saved.
I was confused. But yeah, I mean, I fucking love this game.
My stupid Switch just says 10 or more hours.
I really love this game. I think this game is awesome. I think it is effectively everything I really wanted it to be. I was surprised at how quick I was to enjoy it as much as I did. It's effectively like Red Faction Gorilla meets Super Mario Odyssey meets Breath of the Wild meets all these other things, and it kind of melds them all perfectly. What's so interesting to me specifically is how they handle the destruction mechanic, because it's one of those things you would think gets old, but the way they factor in stuff like getting collectibles, being able to kind of like mess around with stuff like turf surf and whatnot, and trying all these different ideas kind of keeps it from getting stale at any point, to where, yeah, it still does feel good to just find a random wall and just start punching into it until you find a golden banana. Or you can get through a platforming challenge and basically do something completely different. And that's another thing. They just keep throwing new ideas, new scenarios, and ways to kind of get around the environment that gets me really excited. Where it's like, okay, what am I doing in this next area? That's just like, oh, okay, now I'm doing this challenge level that's effectively a throwback to Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo. It's like, what? That's awesome that they are basically going back that far. So yeah, I'm really loving this game, having a ton of fun. I'll probably, hopefully, have more to say about it next week, but overall, having a really, really good time with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. I think maybe even more than I thought I would. Like the destruction mechanic is very top notch, to where there was some parts in the early levels and like the lagoon one where I was accidentally skipping sections of the map because I was just punching through walls and I found myself in another area, and then I'm like, okay, I need to backtrack and do this properly. So because of that, speedruns are going to be absolutely insane in this game.
Oh, dude, I've been seeing some speed tech. It's kind of insane.
Oh, I'm sure, because there's some really good jump mechanics, climb mechanics, and then there's like the whole double jump when you have just a chunky, just throw that beneath. Oh, there's going to be so much.
Bananza forms, which add a lot in and of themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's a crazy.
Yeah, so and you're right that they are keeping it fresh almost every level. There's just some slight variation on certain things that you have to do in certain ways. So it does keep that. The Bonanzas are just fine. Like I'm actually barely using them. Like I only use them where they're absolutely necessary. And beyond that, the only other problem with this game so far is the tech, because man, is it killing the Switch, especially in these later levels.
Yeah, the frame rate. We were talking about this. One of the bosses later on, there's an attack he does that just is the "fuck you Nintendo Switch 2" attack, which is like, why is he destroying the frame rate?
That was so bad. And then I
it's
was
like
in
there for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
yeah, it's just a sudden like your screen just pauses.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying it, because recently I came to the conclusion that I much prefer level-based 3D platformers like Astro Bot, like 3D World and the Galaxy games, and I just expected to really like Donkey Kong but not love it, like how I with Odyssey specifically. But I am loving Donkey Kong. Time is flying by when I'm playing this game. Like I had a 4-hour session that felt like 15 minutes, because I'm just, oh, there's a collectible over there's something over there, and you're like breaking through, and it's constantly fun. And even my early criticisms of the game, of like a lot of the earlier levels are like they're very easy, not platformer heavy, not complex. But once you get into like a split in the levels, like the forest and the ice level, that's when the game's level design really takes a step up. And I assume it'll continue to do so as I go further on, because I don't even think I'm halfway through the levels yet.
Yeah, one complaint that you mentioned that I was kind of with you on is level variety. It was very much like, forest level, ice level, fire level. I think it does get a lot better, especially with like what I've heard later levels can be. That was kind of the thing with Odyssey as well.
Yeah. And it's just slowly getting better and better, and I'm really enjoying this game, and I can definitely see it being a game of the year and soggy contender at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious how people are gonna be feeling by Game of the Year time. I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting race. I do very much believe that, like, for most places they're gonna give it to Expedition, but I do think right now pretty handily Donkey Kong's already my goatee, and I'm probably only like halfway through.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a meaty game too. There's a lot of
I was
content.
surprised because the Logan Plant, the IGN reviewer, was saying like he got like I think 200 of the bananas, and he was like 60 hours in. And he was like, "There's still a lot more I haven't done yet." He finished up the post game. It was like, "Yeah, no, I stand by the 10 out of 10 review I gave it." It's very exciting. I think
Now,
the fact that there's so much to look forward to in the game gets me so much more excited.
Now, do you think 3D Mario is next year?
I want to believe, but probably not. I think they wait a year after, maybe 2027. There is a chance.
27 would be crazy because there's so much stuff there already.
For 2027?
Yeah, gonna have like Witcher, Intergalactic.
Okay, yeah, but like Nintendo doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm just saying that would make 2027 a crazy year. But I think we're
Oh,
both in agreement that there has been a team working on Mario for a while.
Well, yeah, because
yeah.
what's Koizumi doing? Because
Yeah.
Koizumi isn't involved in this game at all, so that tells me it's
Yeah.
like, okay, he's probably working on something else.
hmm
But yeah, I think there was also rumors. I don't know if you guys caught this that the next direct is going to have Animal Crossing, and that's going to be scheduled for 2026.
Wouldn't
That
shock
sounds
me.
right.
I mean, it makes sense because like Animal Crossing got so much bigger because of the last game, and they're like, okay, well, we need to follow up on that. So it makes sense they would have fast tracked it. Otherwise, we'd probably be waiting a lot longer for Animal Crossing because there was a lot of years in between each Animal Crossing game, but now because it's such a mainstay Nintendo franchise, now they're like, okay, let's fast track the next one. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of rumors for the next direct, did you guys see this thing regarding like the credits in Mario Kart World and also Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything about that because it's spoilers for one of the characters, but very interesting. I mean, it makes sense. You want to get Mario
It makes
Kart
sense
World
that
DLC.
they would want to include like more characters based on releases and whatnot.
Because also look at the amount of skins Donkey Kong and Pauline have in that game.
Wait,
None.
so this I haven't seen this, but it kind of confirms new characters in Mario Kart
World.
Yeah, one of the new characters especially, which I am very excited for. I hope it's real.
I hope it's Poppy Kong. I don't know what it is, but I love Poppy Kong.
Poppy Kong is hilarious, dude.
mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. I mean, do you guys have anything more you say about Bonanza?
No?
So I had to step away for a second, but yeah, Bonanza is definitely impressing me more. Where I think it is now among my like top favorite Nintendo games. Like it could possibly even crack into my top 25 somewhere if it keeps holding this up. Just from like, I was never huge on Odyssey. Like I liked it. I thought it was a very good video game, but I was never in love with it like so many people are. But now I'm starting to feel that for Bonanza. And I'm like, oh, this is like really good. And if it can hold this, like even if the story is pretty bare basic, I'm just used to that with Nintendo. But just the gameplay and the maneuverability and just the finesse of the whole game with the whole being able to destroy pretty much everything and your creativity of being able to tackle different things, it's on another level. So I'm appreciating it for that. So it might just crack my top 25 because of that.
I think, yeah, I was like pretty like hesitant because as an Odyssey fanatic, I was like, oh, interesting with the amount of reviews that mentioned them liking it more. Now that I'm halfway through, I'm like, yeah, I fully get why you would like why other people would like this more than Odyssey. I don't know about myself yet, but like, god damn, does this game do so much different? It's interesting. Like to me, it's like just two legends. I'm like, yeah, I like both these games a lot. I'm pretty happy.
Honestly, I think hopefully it challenges the Mario team a bit to make something pretty cool.
Oh, you know it is. You know that what's so good about that team, because this game just feels like they were learning lessons from Odyssey. They learned lessons from Bowser's Fury. It's like, what can we do from those games to apply to the next game? Which they did from Odyssey, from 3D World, from the Galaxy games. They just keep refining and keep changing what they do. And, you know, some people prefer certain ones over others, but at the end of the day, they basically want to say, all we make is bangers. That's kind of how that team works, and I really like them for it.
I think it comes down to that they're being tackled so different. Like Mario is your traditional platformer, whereas Donkey Kong is now this open world adventure game almost.
Yeah,
where it does have platforming sections and parts, but it's the majority is it's just an open world collect-a-thon kind of thing and beat up some enemies. So you're going to lean to whatever you more prefer. Do you prefer just pure platforming, or do you prefer this open world stuff? And I think that's just where I land. Like I definitely prefer the open world adventure more than just platforming. Now, granted, Astro Bot's the exception.
Yeah, no, I think we're in a really strong spot for platformers in general as well. So I've been eating pretty good. Just need toys for Bob. Let's see what you're working on. I've been waiting for them for a long time, but I'm kind of seeing this like holy trinity of like now Team Asobi, Nintendo EPDA, the Tokyo team, and Toys for Bob. It's like all three of these guys are kind of putting out bangers. I'm pretty happy. I don't need like Ty the Tasmanian tiger. Like I'm just like, yeah, if these
How
three
the
guys
kangaroo.
exactly. It's like if these three guys are the ones doing the big budget 3D platformers, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm fed for this genre, really. Because these guys know what they're doing.
Can we talk about the Astro Bot level at the end, the last Astro Bot level, since we know we all did it?
That level
Like,
is
goddamn.
so hard. It is. I think it took me like 30 minutes. That is a tough level.
I think I was there for almost an hour before I got
Very
it.
fun, very fun. But man, is it brutal? They
And then
Team Asobi. I that does scream like that's gonna be the final level, right?
it has to be, especially with the way they presented the final bot. And it's like, here's your last bot, and it's of course it's that character. I'm not gonna spoil it, but of course it's him.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the other bot as well. It's like, okay, you've been waiting for these two bots forever. Yeah, I think that's about everything though.
I'm just gonna give a quick indie shout out because Fusion and I have been talking about this game called Fretless that just came out of nowhere. Although apparently Jack has heard about it. I've never heard about it before now, but then I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, this is just a me game. So it's like the perfect blend of Sea of Stars, where it's this retro pixel game, but it's very highly detailed. But it's music based, it's turn based music based combat, which I thought it would kind of get old, but even just in the demo, you already get two different weapons. You have an acoustic guitar and a bass guitar, and they both play very differently. But it's turn based, and not only are you doing turn-based attacks. It's kind of like the first thing that came to mind was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, where you have cards, and every turn is like you're shuffling through your deck. So that's what you do is you pick 3 cards from your hand, and those are the attacks you do, and then you have to do the QTEs for the specific attacks to the beat of the rhythm that's going on in the background. And then also on top of that, because hitting your attacks with the beat increases their damage, but also timing your button presses to the enemy attacks will also help block more damage. So you're constantly just keeping up with the rhythm, and I've been loving it. So that's what I'm going to be doing after I beat DK. And thankfully, what Fusion said, it seems to be what someone said is around 6 to 8 hours, which is probably the perfect length for this kind of game. So I'm hopefully going to be jumping on that pretty soon and be really into my weird mix of Sea of Stars and Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. I mean, it's interesting to see this type of thing kind of come out of nowhere. But yeah, I do love when indie games just come out of nowhere and it's like, here's a banger, by the way. It's like, sweet.
It sort of came out with a 91, which is like, okay, hold up. But sadly, it seems to have dropped to an 80A, which is still super impressive. But it's like, oh, you broke the 90 echelon?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough thing. I mean, right now, like, what else is in that 90s? There's Donkey Kong Expedition. There was one other big game that came out. Oh,
It's
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, a Split Fiction, and then the Shinjuku game.
Yeah, I saw this. I was like, damn, 94. It has 7 reviews.
Yeah,
which I'm like,
yeah,
I guess you could get 90.
It's that visual novel thing again, like we had last year, where we had that one visual novel be like in the high 90s because it had like 3 reviews.
It did look cool. From what I heard, it's like basically a dungeon crawler where you learn Japanese. Where it's like, hey, I might actually jump in on this. This looks kind of neat.
I've never vibed with that like first person dungeon crawler kind of game. There's so many of them. It's just
old school
like,
RPG looks.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wish I could get into it because this one seems like it's like the new like first person for dungeon crawler.
Oh, it's $60. Never mind. I'm not into this.
Oh, damn, forget that.
I'll buy it on sale though.
That's the other thing is Fretless is also I hate the title though. Amazing game. I hate the title. Fretless, the Wrath of Riffson.
I thought you said frontless, and I got ads for a frontless bra. It's like I don't think that's the game.
Now I gotta go check that out. But yeah, it's a terrible name. But what was I saying? I was just saying it has a terrible name, but I was gonna talk about something else about it.
Oh,
I can't remember now.
The price.
Oh, the price. Yeah, it's $15, and right now it's on sale for $13 because it just came out. So it's like $13 for like an amazing rhythm game, turn-based RPG for $13. Yes, I'm all in for that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's not out yet.
Oh, it's out.
Oh,
It,
it's out. Okay, gotcha.
it came out literally the same day as DK.
Oh yeah,
Bad move, guys. Bad move.
yeah.
I know
hope it
counter
doesn't.
programming is a thing, but come on.
Yeah, that sounds like something that like hopefully doesn't get lost in the shuffle because it seems like people are really into it.
Someone's got to do something to get it to make it stand out. It's like, hey, I know this came out the same time as DK, but check this out.
Yeah.
I was hoping like maybe it's staying in the 90s would help it stand out. Like people who check out Open Critic will see it like in the Hall of Fame. But sadly, with it being 88, it's still. Oh no, it is there. Fretless right here next to Keep Driving and Starvaders. So that's good at least. Why is there no art though? What the hell? Okay. But yeah, it's holding in the top. What is this? 3, 6, 9, 12 so far of the year. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, hopefully that keeps it kind of like in a way where everyone's paying attention to it.
And like how we all found Shijuku. It's like, what is this and why is it in the top 12?
Oh, and real quick thing, I completely forgot to mention this for what we've been playing. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4. I've been playing a lot of that. This is a weird one where it's like you can definitely feel they were budgeting this one compared to 1+2 because there's substantially less music, which the music in there is still really good, but less music, less clothes to choose for your skater, and just a lot less stuff in general. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 levels are really good. The weird thing is Pro Skater 4 had open world levels originally, and they converted them to the 2-minute timer things. And they don't think they converted them very well because it's very obvious these were originally open world. And it just kind of... The 4 levels are substantially worse than the 3 levels in my eyes, but it's still fun. It's Tony Hawk. I enjoy it a lot. Not much to say. I mean, it's classic Tony Hawk. There's just like really fun skateboarding. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's it for our show, boys. I think this is gonna be on record for one of our shortest episodes. Like what, like an hour? Very strong. Thank you guys both for joining me. I had a lot of fun. Right. The fucking housekeeping. If you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, favorite podcast platform, we're going to be on there. Review us on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, a slice of gaming. But with that, thank you for watching. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Go eat some bananas.
Banana.